Maybe I was a little optimistic a couple episodes ago when, 13 games left. We only found ourselves 8 points out of a potential top 3 slot. We've been playing so much better than we have in previous seasons, but I knew it was going to be a pipe dream to get all the way up there. Well, guess what? We didn't get all the way up there. Welcome back to another episode. We're ending season 5 today of South by Sudvest with SV ELVERSBERG. If you've been enjoying the series so far, make sure you drop a like down below the video and throw something in the comments as well. Just say hi, whatever you want to say. We followed up last episode with a 2-0 loss against Kaiserslautern, and after that I was pretty much resigned to the fact that we were going to be in the Zweite Bundesliga for another year, but the goal was still to have year-on-year improvement, which we really haven't had over the last couple of years. We've been very stale, very stagnant. Well, first match after that, it was a 1-1 draw at home. Marvin Houston put us ahead early in the second half, but Haris Tabakovic was able to tie things up. Then Dinamo Dresden just held us to absolutely nothing. Florian Agape did score a goal for them in the 73rd minute. That was the only tally of the match. We then took care of Holstein Kiel at home by a score of 1-0. Paul Henrich breaking through in the 76th minute. Very defensive affairs between these two sides. Then we took on Braunschweig, a team that we have absolutely dominated. This time they dominated us in so many ways. It felt like every time the highlight came on, Braunschweig had the ball. Alex Mendez, they put them ahead 78 minutes in, and I thought we were absolutely done for. Thank God for Lars Gindorf scoring the equalizer with 4 minutes left in regular time to rescue a point on the road against a team that we really should have been beating. Speaking of a team that we never beat, we still didn't beat them, but it was a much closer affair this time at home against Hertha Berlin. 1-0 in favor of the visitors. Alex Lorenz scoring in the 14th minute. We just could not get anything going. But a team that has absolutely had our number of late, Wien Wiesbaden, we went to their place and took a 3-1 victory. Frederick Rechtenwald scored his first goal of the year 5 minutes in. Ohene Cole, off of a rebound, picked up his first of the year in the 17th minute. Tom Fleischmann did make it 2-1 at the half, but then Lennart Niederlander scored his second of the year in the 54th minute in order to get us all 3 points, or at least secure us all 3 points. So in the Bundesliga, that puts us in 9th place on 48 points. So we have had the best season that we have ever had so far in this save. Now, Köln is going up as champions. Kaiserslautern, Bochum, Fortuna Dusseldorf, they're all in contention for that second automatic promotion spot, and the loser will be vying for, or the losers will be vying for that promotion playoff position. We have had, by all accounts, a very good season, or at least, let's say, a better season than we have had in the past. Marian Klaric is going to... No, not Tim Boss. Marian Klaric is... Actually, you know what? Yannick Rohel is coming in. We were doing a little bit of rotation over the last couple of matches, and it ended up working for us. That's why Rechtenwald is in there as opposed to Akhmedov. Well, Akhmedov is injured now, but Yannick Rohel sat out that last match, and we missed him, but we didn't miss him. We have made a slight tweak to the tactic. We've got now 2 attacking midfielders. Got rid of the playmaker because I found like it just wasn't really doing anything. We'll get Lars Gindorf in there for the last match of the season as well. Rafael Adieli is a weird one. I'm not going to try to re-sign him right now because he is wanted by other people. Right now it's only Vitesse. There were 3 squads that were looking at him before as an end-of-contract signee. He still is not signed for next season. I'm hoping that interest dissipates, and when it does, we'll be able to re-sign him, hopefully before he leaves, because he technically is not... He was here from the beginning. if I'm not mistaken, he is not actually a player from Saarland, but because he was already here, we got to keep him. So it's going to be Drejaka in goal, Rechtenwald, Zentner, Zickinger, and Feil on the back lines, Samishaheen and Niederlander with Gindorf and Rochelt manning the midfield. Schaefer and Cole are going to be getting the start again. They played pretty well together in the last match. Schaefer almost scored. Cole did score. Schaefer actually had one called back for offside in that match, so we could have actually had even more than we did. Final match of the season. It's the second time we've met Greunther Fürth on camera this season. I didn't really plan it that way. I probably should have thought a little better before we did it, but they did finish off the first half of the year, so it was a natural stopping point for us at that time. If we can manage to pull off a victory today, that will put us on 51 points, which is 8 points higher than we have ever scored in this save. So even though we seem to be languishing in the second tier, we are now firmly entrenched in this second tier. And we are just moving further and further up the table. So I'm hoping that as we continue to gel with the team that we've got, we move out the players that we no longer want to have around here. They'll no longer be on the wage bill. We can start working in some of the other young players. Marco Heim is a big one that I want to get involved. Lucas Hoffman, I want to get him back once he is off on loan and start working these guys into the rotation, because I think relying on our younger players has most certainly paid off for us so far this year. Schaefer's got a couple of goals. Ohane Cole's got just the one. Rechtenwald picked up a goal. Manuel Feil has obviously scored a lot. Angelo Stavridis has scored quite a bit. He is currently on the bench for this one. Again, we've been rotating through and just want to keep with kind of what was working in the last match. Don't want to make too many changes. Hatunji with the ball as Greunther Fürth looks to push it forward. Pfaffenrad looking at his options, gets away from Rechtenwald. Konsbruck back to Asta, gets past one man. Konsbruck with a shot, and that's going to curl well wide. 13 minutes have been played, and it so far has been all Greunther Fürth, even though that was just their first shot on goal of the match. Obviously, it did not hit the target, but 0.11 XG to nil, because we just have not quite gotten anything done yet in this match. And in fact, Greunther Fürth leading in possession, which, as we talked about over the last couple of episodes, that's not really the game that we play. We play a much more possession-based system, and if we are getting dominated in possession, that means things are going drastically wrong for us. So we're going to encourage our team a little bit. I really don't want to make any changes just 30 minutes into the match, but, well, we may have to, as Pfaffenrad has it along the nears. Oh, come on, man. Why is it every time we get a red card? We're going, when we do the analysis video, we are most definitely going to have the most red cards of any team. Let's move some machine back there. Ugh, I really hate this. I do not like this at all. You know what? Let's do this. Yannick Rochelt. Sorry, Cole. You are being sacrificed for the betterment of all. Joshua Meese is going to come in as our right back, so we keep that back four. But now we are going to be short a man for the final 60 minutes or so of this match, which does not make me happy. I really wanted to potentially end this season with a win, but Football Manager seems to have other plans. Zickinger clears it, but we have nobody back there because we are down to 10 men. Littig playing it to Konsbruck around the edge of the box. Can he get around his man? No, Mies stays with him pretty well. Drop back Asta. Littig with space. Drejaka fights that one off, pushes it behind for another Greunther Fürth corner. Part of me wants to go to key highlights now, because I just have a feeling that it's going to be all Greunther Fürth if we don't. And it's just going to be them taking corners and us fending it off, and them going on breakaways and us fending it off. It really is sad that this is how the season is going to potentially end for us. I mean, it's still 0-0 and there is hope, and we've gone down to 10 men before and scored 3 goals, but not against a team as strong as Greunther Fürth. Pfaffenrad putting a pretty harmless header in on Driaka. I think we are going to go to key highlights for the second half. I've got to do it, guys. I just feel like I don't need to see everything. Well, with the... I'm going to say that's a final third throw-in, so watch the moving around. Schlicky, Consbrook. All right, that was a pretty weak effort, so... I will take that, but it's all Greunther Fürth in this first half. 6 shots to 1, 3 of them on target, 4 of them now out of 7, and we just have not done anything now that we are down to 10 men, but we are okay than the fact that we haven't conceded. We are fairly defensively sound this year. Even in a lot of the matches we lost were one. I mean, there were obviously other scores, but quite a number of them were 1-0. He was outside of the box. Pfaffenrad was outside of the box. That's not going to be a penalty, but it's going to be a free kick from an incredibly dangerous position. Good call, ref. Good call. Oh, good. We don't even have to see it. I don't even know if we're going to get a shot. If we end this match with a 0-0 draw, I've got to say, I'm actually going to be very happy with that. Samir Shaheen has picked up a booking. That is not great. We're going to encourage the team a little bit more. And I did it just as they were getting a highlight, so I negated it. Yes. I love ruining highlights for the opposition. It's a wonderful time. We always have a wonderful time here. So next season, where do you think we're going to finish? Let me know. Not much is obviously going to change because we can't really bring... We've basically signed any half-decent player from the Saarland region over the last couple of years. So we're basically going to have to rely on the players we got through in our youth intake, which I'm somewhat excited about. We had some guys that looked really good, especially that Portuguese midfielder. Just absolutely looked fantastic. Samir Shaheen is... He is done, so you know what we're going to do? This is what we're going to do. We're going to move Zickinger into his spot, and we'll bring in Moritz Ruffing. He has not gotten enough playing time. Hopefully, with him not being match fit, that's not going to work against us. Moritz Ruffing is just one of those players that, like, on paper, he should get more playing time than he really does. I'm kind of sad that he actually doesn't. Manfred Hector will come in for Niederlander. Schaefer will make way for Angelo Stavridis. And that's all we're going to do. Those 2 additional moves with about 15 minutes left to go. Still dominating possession, still dominating the shots, still dominating the match momentum are Greunther Fürth. But so far... we are holding our own with 10 minutes left to go, and I think our defense is probably going to be able to hang on and do their job. It'll be another clean sheet for Stefan Driaka, which I believe will be his 12th, if I'm not mistaken, and that will make him the all-time leader at ELVERSBERG. And why did I start talking about it? Highlight with 3 minutes left. Meisner's in. Meisner shoots. Meisner scores. I think Meisner was offside. The flag stayed down. But I'm pretty sure Meisner was offside unless Mies played him on. Which he apparently did. Oh, boy. Greunther Fürth 1. ELVERSBERG 0. Nope, he was definitely onside. So disappointing. Off of a throw-in, no less. Always off of a throw-in. They can never seem to not score off of a frickin' throw-in. We just lose guys on these throw-ins, left, right, and center. And the 5 minutes that are added on for injury time will come and go. And once again, it is a 1-0 loss. Not bad, 1-0 loss on the road, down a man for most of it. I guess we will take that. Greunther Fürth's going to end the season in 15th. Those 3 points were actually kind of key for them. Well, the 1 point would have kept them safe anyway. Holstein, Kiel, Karlsruhe are going down. Braunschweig is going to play in the relegation playoff. Kaiserslautern is going to get a chance to go back to the Bundesliga in the playoff. Köln and Bochum are going back to the top flight for the next season. We're going to wrap up the season in the next episode. We're going to look at all the stats. We're going to recap the year and see where we go from here. We finished in 10th on 48 points. Best position on the table, best number of points ever. I'm encouraged as we move forward and look towards season number 6. If you've been enjoying the series so far, make sure you drop a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you back for the analysis next time. Until then, Bobar.